My boyfriend resents me because I own 4 houses. Last week, while looking at vacation rentals, Marcus said, "Must be nice to just pick wherever you want." For some of us, money actually matters. After 18 months together, these little jabs are becoming more frequent, and I'm starting to wonder if our love can survive his resentment. Let me back up and explain how I got here, because my story isn't what most people expect. Let me explain. I grew up in the foster care system. No safety nets, no parents, just a garbage bag of belongings when I turned 18. I promised myself I'd build a different life. By 14, I had my entire life mapped out. I would graduate high school, get into college on scholarships, and build a life that was the complete opposite of everything I'd experienced. While other kids were worried about prom dates, I was working 2 part-time jobs and maintaining a 4.0 GPA. I got my full ride to a state school. I studied business and finance, lived off ramen noodles, and graduated summa cum laude. I worked 80-hour weeks in corporate finance for 5 years, saved every penny, and bought my first rental property at 25. Fast forward, I now own 4 properties, run my own consulting firm, and built a life from nothing. Nobody handed me any of it. Marcus's story is completely different, and I've always admired him for it. He grew up in a loving home, married young, and spent 12 years trying to create the same stability his parents had. But when his wife left, she also took the house, half his savings, and custody of their kids. He's been rebuilding ever since, living paycheck to paycheck. When we met at a mutual friend's barbecue, I was immediately drawn to his kindness. He knew nothing about my financial situation. To him, I was just Sarah, the woman who laughed at his jokes and didn't seem to care that he was a divorced dad with baggage. If you're enjoying this story, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We post new content every week that explores the everyday trauma we all face. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Now, back to our story. Our first few dates were perfect. He insisted on paying for everything, which I appreciated not because I needed him to, but because it clearly mattered to him. During one of our early conversations, he told me about his ex-wife's financial irresponsibility and said something that should have been a red flag. I learned my lesson about women who can't handle money. I need to be with someone who understands that the man handles the finances. I didn't correct him then because we were still getting to know each other, and honestly, I was curious to see how things would evolve. But I also made the decision to wait before sharing details about my career and assets. 3 months in, when he started talking about our future and asking more specific questions about my work, I finally told him the truth. I explained my background, my business, and yes, my financial situation. His reaction was complicated. At first, he was impressed, but soon came the digs. "Must be nice to never worry about money." Or, "Your friends probably think you're slumming it with me." When I suggested we take a weekend trip somewhere, he got defensive about not being able to keep up with my lifestyle. Last month, we were talking about moving in together. I was excited because I really do love this man, and I wanted to build something together. I suggested he and his kids move into my house. He said, "So I'd just be living in your house, rent-free, like some kind of kept man?" "You'd be living in our home," I corrected him. "I want to share my life with you, Marcus." All of it, but he couldn't see it that way. To him, my success makes him feel like less of a man. The truth is, I don't need Marcus to provide financially. I need love, laughter, and partnership. But he can't separate his worth from his paycheck. It's heartbreaking because I can see how much this eats at him. And it's frustrating because I worked so hard to get where I am, and now I'm being made to feel guilty about it. Last week, after the vacation rental comment, I finally said what I'd been thinking for months. "Marcus, I didn't build this life to make you feel small. I built it so I'd never have to depend on anyone again. But I want to share it with you because I love you." He was quiet for a long time. Then he said, "Maybe that's the problem. You don't need me for anything." And there it is. He doesn't want a partner. He wants someone to rescue, someone who needs him to feel complete. But I'm not that person. I was that person once, when I was a scared kid with nothing. Now I'm a woman who has everything she worked for, and I'm not going to apologize for that. I love Marcus, but I'm starting to realize that love might not be enough if he can't love me and respect my success. Because asking me to make myself smaller so he can feel bigger isn't love, it's insecurity. And I've spent too many years building myself up to tear myself down for anyone.